You may have heard that Manchester United are signing a young centre-forward going by the name of Obi Martin. Now, because he's only 16 years old, initially I wasn't even going to do a video on this, but then Fabrizio Romano suggested that he could be Manchester United's third choice striker this season. So we need to discuss it. What can he bring to the team, and how good is he? So the first thing that the young Dane will bring to this Manchester United team, should he play for the first team or the academy team, is versatility. By trade, he is a striker, and that is his best position, and certainly in the long term, I think that is where he will play. However, because he has a really good physical base, he's very tall and very strong, combined with the fact that he's got a good first touch, he can dribble with the ball, he can use both feet. He could actually be quite a versatile player. Now, by no means is he ever going to be a winger, I'm not trying to suggest that, but he is certainly a centre-forward who could also play in a front two, particularly in kind of like a traditional big man, small man sort of partnership up front. But I also wonder if he could play as a sort of inside forward, because he does quite like to drift to the left-hand side of the attack before then moving inside. So that is a development that we could see in his career. So versatility is the first thing that this guy is going to bring. The next thing that Obi Martin brings is technical strength. This is technically a very good player on the ball, as I feel we expect from most modern day academy players. You can tell academy footballers from an absolute mile off, because there is a certain way they look to control the ball, and Obi Martin ticks those boxes, particularly with the fact that he is very two-footed on the dribble. Not necessarily always with his shooting, we will come back to that later, but with his dribbling, he loves using both feet, and you guys that know me will know that I love a player that can use both feet on the dribble. It makes you incredibly unpredictable and normally allows you to move the ball at a much higher speed. And Obi Martin certainly does that when players get towards him. Because he has the ability to go both ways, he can go with his left foot or he can go with his right foot, it makes him much more unpredictable. So in terms of trying to show him one way, it's quite difficult to do. Particularly when also at youth level, he has been physically so superior to every player that he has played against. This guy is 6'3" tall, he's absolutely massive and he's only 16 years old. He is way bigger than most players that he is used to playing against. Combine that with that two-footedness on the dribble, the strength, with the technical ability, it makes him a really good ball carrier, and it will be interesting to see how this kind of transmits to senior football when we see him in that environment. Can he do it against players who are of similar size to him? We'll have to wait and see. But so far, he's been a good ball carrier, he's been a strong dribbler, and I like that side of his game. I just quickly wanted to interrupt the video there to give a shout out to today's video sponsor, jerseyfifa.com, the home of affordable football kits. If you use the link in the description down below, you will find yourself a website which has all of the newest releases, home shirts, away shirts, and actually even old classic shirts as well. And if you don't actually want to wear the shirt yourself, I've heard they make a pretty good background display as well. So if you want to get yourself a shirt, use the link in the description and use code JerseyFIFA for 10% off your order. Go check it out. As well as being a dribbler, Obi Martin also has the ability to be a ball carrier. Obviously. Again, he's very big, he's very strong, and he's really good with his quick feet. But also, he's got an incredible amount of power in his legs. I mean, his quadriceps, there must be some real power in them. Because the way that he drives forward through the pitch, again, of course, the stride length helps. The upper body frame helps. But the power in his legs as he runs is quite scary. And I personally wouldn't want to try and defend against it. So he can dribble, but he can also carry the ball forward. It also means that he can go in behind the opposition as well. Because of that stride length, but also the running up power, he is able to power his way through in behind the opposition. So should the opposition play over high line, Obi Martin is the sort of player that can get in behind. He can exploit those gaps. If the opposition try to gamble and play an offside trap, but get it wrong, you're not going to catch him. I'll put it like that. He's too quick. Again, too powerful. Pulling away from the opposition into these areas. On top of that, though, he can play going the other way a little bit. He can be a player which is going to come into feet a little bit more. Now, again, initially, he's going to use his big size to protect the ball. Although, I think he's a little bit raw here. At youth level, he's gotten away with it. Because he's so much bigger than everyone he plays against, he doesn't have to use his body that intelligently. Because he's so much bigger, so much stronger, it's quite easy for him. Moving into senior football, again, when that happens, it'll be interesting to see how he adapts. Because at the moment, I don't think he positions himself that well with his body. I also don't think he is that great with the linking play either. I think his passing is a little bit slack at times. He almost relaxes a little bit too much as he gets on the ball. Of course, composure is a good thing for him, but he almost relaxes a little bit too much. He's a bit too calm on the ball, and that can lead to him giving the ball away. But again, this is a 16-year-old striker we are talking about. Of course he has weaknesses, but whilst he has those weaknesses, he also has massive strengths, and his strengths is running in behind, getting into the box, and scoring goals. This is a good finisher. Someone who I believe once scored 10 goals in a game against a Liverpool youth side. If he can continue that at Manchester United, particularly against Liverpool, I think the fans will like him. In terms of his finishing, he's got a whole range of finishes, and that's a really good thing for a young player. Again, he can use his left foot or his right foot, although he does prefer the right. He's more than capable of both. But it's the range of finishing. It can be calm 1-versus-1 situations, slotted under the goalkeeper. It can be arriving onto the first time shot and absolutely blasting it past the goalkeeper. It can be squeezing a ball in at the near post. We have seen him kind of lifting the ball over an on-rushing goalkeeper as well. It's a real range of finishing, and that's a great thing for a striker to have, because again, it makes you incredibly unpredictable and therefore difficult to defend against. When you consider he can do it off both feet as well, how do you stop that? You can't show him outside, you can't show him inside, because he's capable on either foot. Again, the power he generates when he strikes the ball is frightening. In the box, he could go on to be a really, really good striker. An absolute goal scorer. His finishing is top quality at the moment. Composure is something that will come with age and experience, being in these situations hundreds of times. But at the moment already, he may be raw, but his finishing is, but no doubt, really good. We've got some clips of sort of this variety of his play style. We can see here on this occasion, going in behind the opposition defence. The ball has been played through, he's beaten the offside trap, and he's going to run through one-on-one with the goalkeeper, slow himself down, steady himself. This also captures just how big he is, by the way. He's massive. Gets the ball onto his right foot and just kind of wraps it low into the bottom corner. It's a good finish. In this next clip, you can see something similar. Again, going in behind, but this time on the other side of the pitch. So previously it was on the left, now it's on the right. That's that versatility, the ability to make different runs into the final third. Now, on this occasion, there's a bit more of a challenge up against him, because you can see the defender actually has a head start. But the Dane gets there. He uses his upper body strength, he uses his arm to keep the player away from him, and then eventually gets the shot off, and again, it's a really good finish. We've also got, though, a couple of clips of him going the other way as well. On this occasion, you can see two of his teammates are actually higher up the pitch than he is. He is acting more as a target man, or certainly a focal point for the side, coming towards the ball, getting the ball into feet, where, technically, he's really nice. He is the kind of this modern breed of striker, which is tall and strong, but really good with the way that they move their feet. The cognitive behaviour here, to move the ball so quick, is good. It's really good. So you can see it here. Again, initially, physical contact. He can take the physical contact. He's a big guy. But it goes further than that, because it's the ability to use both feet and shift the ball. So initially, he uses his body well. He gets himself across the opposition with his right foot across. But then he's going to use his weaker left foot to quickly poke the ball away from the opposition. So in the space of, 1 second, he's ran towards his own goal, shown strength, then done a 180-degree turn and gone back the other way and left the two defenders looking a little bit silly as he powers away from them. Really good dribbling ability, which we don't normally associate with big strikers, but this guy has it in abundance. The ability to turn is phenomenal, and it comes from the ability to use both feet. Again here, initially using his body to keep the ball away from the opposition, and you can see in a situation like this, you can't really tackle him without fouling him. He's too big, he's in the way of the ball. But then what he's going to do is show a bit more of a cute side to his game. Again, touch with the right foot, touch with the left foot, beat the opposition, stick it through his legs, go out the other side. He actually loses the ball on this occasion, but what we're looking at again is agility, ability to move the ball and manipulate the ball. He's got it in abundance, which is so good for a big player. The other thing you want from a big striker, and you don't always get it, is heading ability. This man has it. We've seen it from set pieces, corners, free kicks, things like that, but also open play, which impresses me more. Now, what impresses me on this occasion is, as the ball comes in, initially he kind of has a slight run towards the ball, but he ends up almost stationary. He's not really running and attacking the ball at this point, so it's almost a standing jump. Yet still, he is way too big, way too powerful, gets above the defender, and puts the defender and also the ball into the back of the net. And that kind of shows what he is as a striker. People ask, what is he as a profile? It's probably too early to say. What I would suggest, though, is that he can do a little bit of everything. He can go in behind, he can spin the channels. He can come towards the ball, use his body to hold the ball up, although the link play needs a lot of work. He can get in the box, be that poacher in the penalty area. These are all exciting things. Now, we're not going to go any further today because, again, he's 16 years old. I haven't seen very much of him at all. I have to be completely honest. These are just my first impressions. Realistically, I don't think he will be a striker for United this season. I don't think he will get any game time in the first team. I think he will stay in the academy, but that's not a bad thing at all. Hopefully he can grow and develop. He'll need a lot of luck with injuries, but also, you know, just developing, getting his chance in the first team eventually. But there's a good player there, no doubt. A really exciting prospect. Physically, he's got everything you could want in a striker. Now it's about technically adding more to what he already has to his game. But he's only 16 years old, and United have certainly got themselves a good player, in my opinion. Let me know your opinion in the comments, but apart from that, we are finished for today. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.